the difference between presence and presence, will, going to, INGs, etc. So this lesson is so important to keep in mind. Girls, it's time to talk in past. The last class, we had a little introduction to questions in past, remember? But you don't remember. Come on, remember, girls. I trust you. Last class, we talked about questions in past. Who remembers?
Questions in past?
Yeah. That was last week. Last week, we had this topic in particular.
We saw the auxiliaries.
We saw auxiliaries.
The question?
Correct.
How, like, did?
Yes.
Did question in past?
Very, 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 very good. Precisely when we are talking about past in English, let me check. We use precisely this formula. Let me copy it to you. When we are talking in past. Did, auxiliary did, then the verb in simple form. And it's very important that every time you are talking about past, you collocate the auxiliary did for questions only. Attention, this is only for questions. How to identify the past?
With the verb in past?
Yes, but no. Because when you are talking in past, let's imagine that you take a question and you say, did you go to the gym today? Let's contrast this with this. Surprise, surprise. Is the same sentence. No?
Yes, it's the same.
Then the only difference in this case is the article, the auxiliary, sorry. That's the only difference between questions. Which means it's important to consider questions and auxiliaries. Super important. Because thinking in English, you need to think in the auxiliary first. Now, there is another form. This is for questions. Okay? But another very interesting thing is something that we talked in previous classes. In previous classes, we spoke about the most important section of the verb. One section represents the context of the idea. In previous classes, we talked about matches and Tinder matches, remember? Or you don't remember these Tinder matches?
I don't remember.
You don't remember
Taking
taking
my
math?
teachers.
Oh,
Not sure.
okay, let's talk about that. In previous classes, to identify the difference between contexts, you need to pay attention to the time expression. The time expression and match it with the auxiliary and the verb. In previous classes, we saw that it's incorrect to say study at this moment. This is technically not a match. You cannot say study at this moment. It's necessary to say I'm studying. And this is a correct match. Okay? Well, similar situation, or do you understand this concept?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, okay. If you understand this, then we can pass to talking in past. Because when you are talking in past, you cannot say, for example, did you, example, go? And the word today. Do you go today? It's not a match. Why not? The auxiliary do represents routines. And the word today doesn't represent routines. So it's incorrect to say, do you go today? When you say today, you have two options. Or you are speaking in present. No, sorry, you are speaking about this morning. You go today, sorry. Or option number two, are you going today? The first option is an option to talk about today, this morning. Is this present or past?
Past.
Correct. Are you going today? Is it past or present?
Present.
That is incorrect. It's a tricky question. Tricky question because the correct expression is future. In previous classes, we saw that ing is for plans.
Okay.
So we technically never say, do you go today? The time expression needs to match the verb. You need to understand the relation between the time expression and the verb. For that reason, for that specific reason, we are going to continue and we are going to analyze during this lesson. And every time you speak about times and present, future, etc., just a second because I lost the Yes, here it is. I lost the slide. For this reason, and for this specific reason, it's very important that every time you study times, every time you study present, past, future, context of conversation, you need to consider three colors: the verb, the person, and the time expression. Every time we talk in English, we are going to consider, most importantly, let's eliminate the blue. These two. The time expression represented in purple and the verb represented in color green. Those are fundamental to understand when it's necessary to use auxiliaries, when it's necessary to use verbs in past, when it's necessary to use regular and irregular verbs. Are you ready? Do you
Yes.
have any question at this moment?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so mini exam. What is necessary to understand the verb, the context of the conversation?
The auxiliary.
The context of the conversation? Nope, it's not in the auxiliary. How do you know the context of the conversation? It's right here.
With the
And you repeat, Karen, you got muted.
time expression. No.
The time expression. Yes, milady. So for this specific lesson, we will need time expressions in past.
Okay, teacher.
About. Past. Here you have a list of expressions that we are going to study during the English class. Let me give you effects because they are invisible. Come on, teacher, I cannot see. I know, just a second. Jesus Christ, relax your, okay, perfect. Today, yesterday, last, in the past, when I was, or expression ago. For example, weeks ago, months ago, years ago, hours ago. We can even consider hours ago, long time ago, etc., etc., etc. These are time expressions in past. And these are necessary when you are asking about things in past. Let's talk about it. Questions. You girls are going to ask me, and let's start with Val. I haven't heard your voice, Val, so you're going to go first.
Question for you.
Yes. Question for me, using any of the time expressions that we have over there.
Okay. Did you did you go to the park yesterday?
Okay. Did you go to the park yesterday? Let's say that it's positive. Yes. I went to the park yesterday. you know, parentheses. No, I didn't go to the park. But here you have it, right? Actually, let me give you this negative once and for all, no? So we have the positive and the negative. The negative is verb simple verb, and then of course the auxiliary didn't. I didn't go to the park yesterday. Jesse, give me a question. Question me about yesterday.
Yes, teacher. Did you prove? Did you prove a new coffee yesterday?
Okay, we need to check. Probar in English is called tasted.
Tasted.
No, sorry, only taste because it's simple.
Taste. No.
Taste.
All right. Did you taste a new coffee yesterday?
That actually is negative too. I didn't taste a new coffee yesterday. Normal. Normal coffee.
Oh, do you have an coffee prefer?
You're thinking in Spanglish.
Do you prefer?
You
No.
use favorite.
Do you have a favorite coffee?
Yeah, perfect. Yes, I do. I have my favorite coffee is Cielito.
Chilito?
Yes.
But what kind of coffee?
What kind of coffee? Oh, the preparation? American.
Yeah.
Americano.
American.
Americano. That's the name.
Alright.
That's all.
Right.
Very good. Karen, ask me a question for you for the past.
Did you go at Querétaro last week?
Nice. That's a good question, but the word go needs a different connector. Connector at is for location.
Okay. Entonces, did you go to Querétaro last weekend?
Very good. That's another negative. I didn't go to Querétaro last weekend. Only negative. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the one. Very good. That's the lesson. Talking in present, talking in past. Contrast it with a question in present. Continue, Karen.
Question in present.
Question in present.
Do you go to the gym today?
That's incorrect. That's precisely
Uh,
this example.
do you the present?
If you speak in present, then you need to think about routines. If you go to the gym today in the morning is past.
It's past.
Mhm.
Do you go in present? Do you take a coffee right now?
Right now, again,
No.
is not a routine. Because that's precisely the issue. We need to contrast presents, routines versus presents in this moment.
In this moment.
Uh-huh.
So it's correct. Do you take a coffee in this moment?
Okay, okay. No. Let's go again. Let's go to
No.
the structures handbook. Let's contrast.
In present.
There is present, but there are different presents. So it's different to say, do you, which is over here. It's different to say, do you,
Okay.
than to say, are you plus ing.
Are you and verb ing is in present?
Both are present.
Both.
The first one, this is present, and this is present too.
Okay.
That's precisely the issue.
Yes. Are
So we
you
need to remember the previous classes. Let me give you a visual because we have problems, visual problems. There we go. So these two are presents. And these other two, this is past. So let's talk about the difference. First, the auxiliary is giving you a different thing. The time expression that corresponds to the first formula is in previous classes. Routines, 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 routines. This is present. Always, often, sometimes, seldom, never. We are talking about frequency because the first formula is for routines. So if you say, do you drink coffee in this moment? We have a contradiction. Do you drink coffee is routine.
okay?
And in this moment is in this moment. This is not a routine. Do you see the difference?
Yes, teacher. What is the correct
You tell me.
with which complement?
It depends on your intention. I cannot take a decision. You need to take the decision. What do you want to ask? Do you want to ask about routines? Or do you want to ask about things happening in this moment?
This moment.
This moment. If you need to talk about this moment, you need to follow this formula, not this.
You are taking coffee. You are taking coffee in this moment.
That sounds fantastic, but is that a question or an affirmation?
Question.
Question, then check your structure.
Are you
Exactly.
taking?
Exactly correct.
Thank you. Are you taking coffee right now?
Very good, Melanie. Let's take a revision. And let's see. And finally, taking is for medicine. But for coffee,
Drinking?
drinking, or
I don't know.
remember? That was in previous classes. What is necessary? What verb is for dinner, lunch, breakfast?
Take? No.
Help girls. Can you help Karen? Don't worry, Karen. We're here to help you.
Huh?
There.
Can you repeat who said that? Repetition? I think it was the Jessie, no?
Huh?
Yes. For lunch, dinner, and And breakfast, you have. So for food and for drinks, you say have.
Had.
Well, it depends. Present, past, it depends. Present have, past had, ing having. So you select.
Are you having coffee right now?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Are you having coffee right now?
Finally.
This contrast the second question.
Okay.
Look at how different, and that's exactly why I am speaking about Tinder. Because this specific logic is similar over here. The logic of Tinder, that's what I call it. You need to match. Never cross matches. Never, never, never. They always correspond to only one. This corresponds to this corresponds to this, and this corresponds to this. You see?
Yes, teacher. Right now, I see.
Now you see, which is super cool, because then you see, okay, I need to memorize all this information. Yes and no. Fortunately, you have the structure handbook. In the structures handbook, you have all this information separated with time expressions and the corresponding formula. So you will always have your time expression and the corresponding formula. In this course, we need to finish this course with 7 contexts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each context corresponds to one time expression. So there are 7 matches that we need to dominate. Time expression with verb. This will help you memorize formulas and memorize correct contexts. Everything depends on the time expression. So let's ask questions. Val, ask me a question about my routines.
About routine. Are you go to brush your teeth
That
tonight?
sounds good. That sounds like a future.
I
Because tonight is my plan after, no?
yes.
So that doesn't match. Oh yes, I need to include future in this slide. Future plans. Here's tonight. Do you see?
Okay.
Look at the structure that is necessary.
So do you?
Do you for tonight? No. Again, for tonight, this is a future plan. Look at the structure for tonight.
But okay. I'm confused.
Why?
I don't know.
That's excellent. Why are you confused?
I don't know. Okay, I changed my question.
No, the same question. The same
I,
question.
um,
Organize your mind.
okay. Um, so I need to change the start of the question or my question.
You need to change the start. Yes, totally. According to the structure, you need to match the context with the structure. So what is the context? First, select. Are you speaking about present, routines, or future plans?
For the future plans.
Okay, then for the future plans, you need this structure because routines is here.
Mhm.
And if you see the structure, it's different.
Yes.
On the right, you have do and does, and on the left, you have the verb be. You cannot
Okay.
cross these two.
So are you going to brush your teeth tonight?
Nice. Eliminate going to,
I,
and what do you get?
are you go? No.
Go, that sounds, eliminate going to, eliminate.
Are you going brush your teeth tonight?
Eliminate going,
I,
eliminate.
um, are you brush your teeth tonight?
Nice, but here you need to check your structure. Brush is a verb, right?
Yes.
So then what is necessary?
Brushing.
Yes, complete.
Are you brushing your teeth tonight?
Ta-da. Yes, I am brushing my teeth tonight. Finally. But then that's precisely the part that I need to check. If you are paying attention, if you're listening correctly, you are detecting the differences. Okay? If you say tonight, you need ing. If you say every day, you need a normal verb. And do and does. Now continue, Val, with a question about my routines.
Okay. um. So. mm, mm, do you um do you go sometimes to a park?
Okay, that sounds good. Do you go sometimes to a park? Yeah, sometimes on the weekend I go to a park. Okay. Now you see the difference.
Yes.
Ask me a question in past 12
In past.
about the past.
Yes. Okay. Uh, did you go to the dentist?
Nice. When?
Yesterday?
Yesterday. Excellent question. I didn't go to the dentist yesterday, but I will, I promise.
Okay.
There you go. That is the way we use it. Questions? Doubts?
No,
Anything
teacher.
else? That's super cool. That's the way we think in English. Thinking in English, this is your methodology. The category for these time expressions is called specific past. Because we are going to contrast in future classes the difference between a specific past versus not a specific past. It's very different in English and it's a different conversation. Okay, so in this moment, the time is a specific past. So let's make a conversation. Yes, your turn. You are going to ask me a question about my routines, a question about momentary present, a question about plans, and a question about past. 1, 2, 3, action.
Yes, teacher. Do you wait, do you read every day?
Nice. Yes, I read every day. After the classes, I take 15 pages every day.
Oh, that's cool, mister.
Mhm.
Um, mm, did no.
Mhm.
Did you buy a new book?
Nice. Yes, I bought a new book 2 months ago.
2 months ago. What kind mm, of book is
Mhm.
that?
Nice. Eh, it's a book about routines.
About you?
It's a book about routines and habits. Atomic habit.
Atomic Habits.
Yes.
I have listened about it.
Really,
Yes,
total
I
recommendation. It's one of my. It's a very interesting book. Very, very good recommendation.
sure. Well, I will take your recommendation.
Excellent.
And are you enjoying?
Excellent.
Are you enjoying the test or the content? I don't know.
Yes. Yes, I am enjoying the episodes
Episode.
and I am learning a lot.
Mm, that that's good, teacher. I don't know what else.
That's
Question.
question about plants.
Plans. Um. Okay. And are you going to work it?
Am I going to what?
Are you going to work it? Or how do you say aplicar?
Oh, um, that will be apply.
Apply?
Uh-huh.
And are you going to apply it?
Definitely. Definitely. I will apply. I'm going to apply all the information. Phoenix.
Mm,
There we go, lady. Perfect. Good job. Good job. You are understanding. Guys, this is it.
yes, yes.
Easy or difficult?
Mm, I think that also because relationing, I
I
when you
relate.
I relate for example when I speak in Spanish like I I go to the store today or
Okay.
it's like mm,
Yes.
mm,
I go to the store today because in Spanish it's
mhm,
voy a la tienda. Entonces, no. Probably the thing that we need to check is voy a la tienda versus ir a la tienda.
mm.
You know?
For example, if I am talking with someone, I don't I don't have to say
To say,
to say I don't have to say I I go to meet you today, so I have to say I will see you today. I will meet you today.
I am super confused. Are you talking
Oh,
about the I will miss you today? I will see you today.
no, and I confuse the verb. For example, if I am talking with someone about uh, a plan future, I don't have to say uh, I go to meet you today. I have to say I will
Um,
meet you today.
yes, precisely. Mhm.
Oh, right.
I go is a routine, and this is not a plan.
Mhm. All right.
So the formula, the structure, is determined by the purple section. The purple section determines the verb.
All right, teacher.
Always, always, always.
Yes, I was relationing.
Uh-huh.
It's so for that I think that I get confused.
Correct. Thinking in Spanish. So what we need to do is eliminate Spanish because the relation is very different. That's it.
Okay.
Good job. The next step is verbs in past. And this is the start of a very interesting class. Because when we speak in past, we need to memorize and consider different applications. We have the time expressions, right? We have the persons, he, she, it, we, they, I, you, etc. Or here it's talking about Sam, Starbucks, the teacher, Jessica and Martha, I, the doctor, the family, etc. And then we have verbs. Do you know verbs in past? Is it easy to speak in past or is it difficult?
I knew some verbs.
No, some. Okay. What about Karen?
Um, for any words, for example, the verb it past it's not with the finish it like ed. For example, tall, had, walked. It's different deeds. So tall, finish it. And one verb is the same in present and in past, but something I don't remember.
So you need to know when you need one and when you need the other.
Mm,
Okay.
I need to
It's not a
repeat.
question. It's not a question. It's
Okay.
you need to study that, no?
Yes, I need to study that again.
That is
Just
fantastic because
remember.
I will help you. I will help you with this information because we are going to learn to speak in past appropriately with an easy methodology to remember verbs. because in English it's very classic classes. They give you a massive list with infinite list and infinite information. That's super, super bad. I will help you with a new methodology to memorize these words. Pinky promise.
You teacher.
Okay, but that's gonna be tomorrow. In this moment, we finished. Right?
Thank you.
You
Have a
teacher.
wonderful
Good
night.
teacher.
Good
Talk to
night.
you tomorrow for the next
Bye.
part 2, okay?
Good night.
Good
It's okay,
night.
lady. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.
See you later.